here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I'm up today with a layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict. And today I am going back into my 2020 album quite a ways, and I'm doing an Easter layout. So I think this one's called, I can't remember what it's called, Stitch Bunnies, something like that. I will link it down below, but it is essentially a cut file with one bunny and some kind of stitching in terms of hopping, and I just recreated that 4 times on my page and erased the bits that I didn't need, and created a 12 by 12 layout with 4 little bunnies. And I'm actually using a Rosie's Studio collection. Now, I'm not super happy with this part of the process, and I'll explain why in a second. Because I used Rosie's Studio paper as my background, it is very thin. It is my biggest complaint about them as a company. I think they make beautiful products and beautiful designs, but it's very, very thin and I find it very difficult to use. And so I'm trying to use up what I have in my stash, and I don't know if I'm going to buy it again. I probably will, but I might just stick to the ephemera and see if I can kind of match it in with other things in my stash already. We'll see how the year progresses and what collections they come out with. But for the meantime, I'm using up my stash. And they have a lot of ephemera in their embellishment packs. They have 2 of everything, so their embellishments last ages. And I've got these cute photos of Link eating chocolate for the first time at Easter last year in 2020. And as I said, I'm trying to work through my 2020 albums. I've still got heaps of photos left to scrap, but I am working through them and trying to get them done. And I'm sort of working on my earlier albums just so they're finished up and I can do some flip throughs for you all. And this was one of the last ones left in my first album, so I wanted to get it finished. So I'm just backing my photos on some white cardstock, and then I'm pretty sure I go through some of the papers and pull out some papers to back the photos in as well, just for some more pops of colour. And I backed the little rabbits in some of the Rosie's Studio paper as well, which is also really thin. The 6x6 paper is thin as well. So look, it's great, but you can see I probably made a mistake using wet glue, and I should have used either double-sided tape or my ATG, which you can see there that I used for my photos, but I didn't. I used wet glue because I wanted it to stick really well with the embroidery floss, but it bunches up and it doesn't sit flat. Now, once it goes into my album, give it a bit of time, it will flatten out and you won't even notice. But certainly I was disappointed when I finished this layout and I was taking my photos, which you'll see at the end. It doesn't look as nice as it could, but that's okay. I know it will, and I think the embellishments that I did were super cute. So I will leave a link to this cut file, which is from the Confessions of a Paper Addict Etsy store down below, and Virginia has a heap of stitched cut files and I love them. I love stitching on layouts, and I love it even more when the holes are already there for you in a cut file form. I just find it so easy. So I will definitely link that down below, and there is also a Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group, which you should definitely come along and join, because Virginia releases free cut file every month. So it's great to come and hang out in the group and have fun and share your creations. They don't have to be cut file creations that you share, but she does release a freebie every month and you have to be in the group to get it. So that will all be linked down below as well. Now, the other thing I'm doing in this layout is I'm taking on a bit of a challenge from the Scraptember Facebook group. So if you're not aware, Jess and I do a series in September, we have done for 4 years, where we scrap a layout every day, and we have prompts and we have people join us. And last year, for the first time in 2020, we teamed up with Laura Alberts, who also did a September series called Scraptember, and we teamed up together to do a video every day, and we created prompts, and again we had people join us, and we also help now in the Facebook group. So I will leave that Facebook group linked down below as well. The challenge this month is to use a multicolored alpha. So whether you do stamping, whether you use thickers, whether you use a multicolored thicker, which is what I'm using, a Paige Evans thickers that are multicolored, or you might use different thickers, or you might die cut your title or handwrite, whatever you do, that's the challenge, is to use a multicolored alpha. So I am taking on that challenge, and I have included that in this layout as well. It's a bit of a 2-for-1. Now, these embellishments that I'm using from Rosie Studio just had these super cute little whimsical, like, nature theme, and they had all of these little cute little animals and things, and one of them, well, two of them actually were bunnies. So that's sort of why I went with this collection. I wanted to use those bunnies on this layout because I thought, if you can't use bunnies in an Easter layout, then when can you? But then I added basically every other little creature that was in the die cut pack all went on this layout. So there's a squirrel, which we don't even have in Australia, and a deer and a fox and a little, it's probably a porcupine. We have echidnas here in Australia, not the same thing. Or this could even be a hedgehog. Who knows? We also don't have those. Our porcupines are quite different, and they're not they're not nice and soft spikes. Our echidnas here, they are hard spikes, but they're beautiful creatures. I digress. So I edited out me sticking down all of these because I was just popping foam on the back, sticking them down flat and popping some up and just layering them up. So I kind of edited that part out for you because I didn't think you needed to see me stick everything down. It was all in the same spot. I did move my photo over a little bit, but all the clusters remained the same. And this is where I faff around a lot with my title. So I decided my title was Hop Into Easter. And I'm using these multicolored thickers from Paige Evans, which I really struggle with because they are multicolored, and it kind of, I don't know, it messes with my brain a little bit, but I was determined. It was the challenge in the Scraptember Facebook group, and I wanted to get them on the page. So I am using them, and I put them in a few different locations, which I haven't edited this part out. And look, to be honest, I probably should have. But I thought sometimes it's helpful for people to see that, you know, it takes a while for me to get things kind of the way that I like them on my layout. Sometimes I'm a super quick scrapper, and other times I definitely and over things. So I move them around a few times. I move it from here as well. So, you know, it takes a while. What else can I tell you? I think there's some really exciting things in Virginia's plans for Confessions of a Paper Addict this year, and I'm super excited to see where she takes the business. It really flourished in 2020, and I'm so proud of her and all the work that she's done. And I think if cut file machines, electronic cutting machines are your jam and you own one, then definitely come and join the Facebook group. Definitely check out Virginia. She has extremely reasonable priced cut files, in my opinion. She's based in New Zealand, so they're all in New Zealand dollars, which I know the international scrappers don't really appreciate. Well, no, sorry, I should rephrase that. They really appreciate that because it is a lot cheaper for them to purchase Virginia's cut files, and it's amazing. She's got so many, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So definitely go and check them out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Now, I have finally decided where my title's going. I am going to put it up here in the sort of middle of the page, just tucking it in between that fourth or the top rabbit and the top two photos. I didn't do an embellishment cluster there. I stuck with the 3 embellishment clusters, mainly because I had 3 photos. If I had have had 4 photos, I would have done 4 embellishment clusters, and I would have clustered the photos around the 4 rabbits. I didn't really think about that when I made this cut file. I probably should have just done the 3 rabbits, but I did the 4, and I still think it's cute. And I don't think that 4th rabbit sort of tips the scales at all, or kind of, you know, puts the design elements out of whack. I don't think so. I think it works and I like it. So I am done. I think I add some splatters. So I cover up my photo so I don't get splatters on Lincoln's face. And then I think I'm pretty much done. So as I said, these are super cute photos. I know it's maybe weird for some people that Lincoln's first taste of chocolate was when he was well over 1, but I think most of you who follow us for a long time know that he was born with a condition that affected his esophagus, and he has a lot of trouble eating. So eating new foods and different foods is definitely an adventure, and still is an adventure for us. So, you know, chocolate was just one of the, you know, steps in the journey of getting him to try new foods, which of course he loves. I don't let him eat it very often because, you know, not like it's particularly filling food, but he definitely loves it. So it was nice that he got to have his first little taste of chocolate at Easter. I thought it was cute. I didn't let him eat that whole bunny either. He ate like the tiniest little bit, and then I think Danny and I finished it. Such mean parents. So I think I'm adding some green, some yellow, and some navy maybe splatters. I haven't got the layout in front of me. I'm just looking at my tiny little iPhone screen, but the close-ups are coming. So here is a completed layout. Thank you so much for watching. I've got a few sort of close-up photos coming, so have a look at those. If you want to see the cut file, I will leave a link in the description box down below, as well as to the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file group, and also to the Scraptember Facebook group, so that if you want to come and join, we do a monthly challenge every month in the group, and it's just a lot of fun. So if you're looking for more scrappy inspiration, definitely come and join us there. All right, thank you guys, and we will see you in our next video. Bye.